Hello. This is what we're going to call a shopper video to help you shop and make some decisions. You're looking at a amazing collection of my pro palettes, my professional bead mixes that I made in between like 2010 to 2017. Well, I still make smaller ones, but these large jars were made for about a decade there at some point. And they are just lovely little jars full of beautiful gemstones and freshwater pearls and Swarovski crystals and all kinds of little beauties made in specific color mixes and color stories. And I would make some new ones for different holidays or seasons, like Valentine's Day or summertime or autumn or whatever. And I kind of started making them. We had a very large bead store at one point with 6,000 square feet, and we moved in 2010, I believe, to focus more on education and got a space that had more classrooms, and so the retail space was reduced by some, and so I found myself with a lot of beads and started making these beautiful mixes, and then developing many pieces, many jewelry pieces and projects that you could make with them. Right now, I'm helping my longtime wonderful customers do some destashing, and this is a personal collection of pro palettes, which is very exciting that we have available now for you. And I put them out in our new shop this last weekend. I believe she had about 25. I don't know how many of these large jars there were when, like, ever. Maybe 35, 36. So she had almost all of them. And then I made smaller ones and other versions after that. But right now, so this after the weekend, where they were out in the shop, now I'm putting the remaining online for everyone to get a chance to buy these little gorgeous pieces of history with beautiful gemstones and pearls and things that you just can't find now. And of course, I don't make these collections anymore. And while it's not unusual for me to find some pro palette jars when I do these collections, it is unusual to find such a large selection of them. And so I think we have about 22 of the different palettes here, and many of them, about a third of them, have multiples, which is very exciting. So I think there's 6 or 7 of them that have multiple jars. So I wanted to do a video where I talked a little bit just about each one quickly, the color palette, color story in there, the gemstones, and just very, very quickly. And if you're looking to buy one, maybe make a note about a certain name with that one that you like. I'm going to put them online. I won't have close-up pictures of all of the palettes. I've tried to find as many as I can from before, and they're not the best quality. And I used to have a complete 6-strand necklace like this made from each one, because this is the equivalent. You could make a 6-strand necklace like this out of one jar. And so I made a sample like this for each color story, so that when people came in the store, they could get an idea of the color better on a stand like this than just in a jar. You could get an idea of what the overall, look was. And so I have some photos of the mixes, and I have some photos of jewelry made with the mixes, but not all of them. A lot of them, though. But I did want this video, and so if you're interested in grabbing some from this collection, which if you love them, I would really recommend it, because, like I said, it's not unusual for me to come across palettes. Well, when I do these destashing collections, generally people have 4 or 5. They don't have this kind of selection. So this is a chance to get a lot of particular palettes that other people won't have, that you just won't find available anymore. And they are available still at their original price at $35. What? That's the price they've always been. And they should definitely be a lot more, especially now, practically 20 years later, or a little more, or less than that, but still. They should definitely be more. I do want to just quickly talk about the necklace for a minute. This is Garden Paradise. I don't have a full jar of this one. There was one. It sold. I have a mini jar here. I'll show in a sec. But as I mentioned, this is an example. We do 6 strands. This was our advanced stringing class that we taught. So everyone could select a palette jar, and then in class we spent the day making this piece. And it is 1 jar plus and what we called an accent pack. So a little package of crystals that are between 2 and 4 millimeter in a complementary color story that would go with it. And so the mixes, so together, plus a few little spacers. You can see a couple little metal spacers. There's maybe a dozen, 2 dozen little metal spacers here and there. They're completely random. But that's all there is. The jar, the accent pack, and a few little spacers as you want them. And then each strand is 16 inches. And then this is all on 19 strand 012 is the size, and there's a reason for that. And then we use crimp tubes and the end and the cones and a hook clasp with an extension chain. And I would do up to 4 inches so that your necklace can vary anywhere. By the time you do, if this is 16 inches, by the time you do the cones and the clasp, now we're at 18 inches. And then the extra 3 or 4 inches gives you, a lot of options for length. When you're wearing something so bold and beautiful, you want to be able to have it, hit your outfit or your collar on your, blouse just right. So I love that piece. She's my favorite. Like I said, I had one for each palette, and I just sold them over the years, but I have to hang on to at least one of them. And what I'm going to do for this special online little sales event is I am going to make available for you a accent pack for each and every one. I don't get rid of anything. So I always keep a little, we'll call them starters, that would go with each of the palettes. Maybe the way you would do sourdough starters. I never did that, but I imagine it's similar. So while I might not have it to do a whole, collection of this palette, I have enough to do a matching one for each one if you want to add it on, right? So this is would go with Enchanted Twilight. It would go with Only in My Dreams. This little lovely peachy one would work with Crush on Blush, Sun Glow, Dancing Till Dawn. So many of them are really, can work with a lot of them. Some are very specific. This is only going to work for Island Breeze, and this will work for Romance in the Desert. But and then here's there's an Enchanted Twilight that's mostly dark blues, right? And so here her accent pack. Sorry, that's Lola. So you could also just string the accent pack that can make a little. I normally made them into little multi-strand bracelets. This for the same reason, so that you could see the color story a little bit better. I would make these little samples that you could just string as is, and like I said, there's a selection of shapes, rounds, bicones, rondelles, and that's about the equivalent of the little packages. This one's purples that would easily work with several of the Valentine's ones. So, and here's something like this, which would work beautifully with Garden Paradise and Return to Romance and Happy Hour. But this is not just the small beads. So, you don't have to make just that with those jar. The whole idea is that you could make whatever you want with it and have the color story. So this is a longer strand, and using some of the larger crystals on there and making the clasp a focal so that you could wear this as a 2-strand or a doubled necklace, I should say, that I thought was really pretty. Or you could do it as a wrap bracelet. And so that was using, beads from the palette. or you can use your gemstones and pearls to do, a 3-strand necklace, or do some gorgeous, chunky bracelets. Look how beautiful that is. So there's a lot of options for each jar. And if chances are good that you also have some other beads at home. So if you want to even add more to it, you definitely could. There's definitely at least a pair of everything. I don't ever just throw in one bead. So you can definitely choose your favorite things to make earrings. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about the options for the palettes. Okay, let's talk about each one now. How very exciting. So these jars are $35, and you can add on the crystal accent pack for $15. And our flat shipping is $5 on our website. And these jars are heavy. That's a $5 shipping on its own. So if you order more than one, you are winning at the shipping game. You are saving money for sure, because it's still $5 flat. Okay, let's go through the ones that I have. Excuse me. And like I said, I have multiples of quite a few of them, not all of them. And I have these, I did have them kind of sorted by warm tones, and then like pinks and blues and multicolors, but I kind of mix them around a little bit. Let's see. So we'll do some warm toned ones first. Do I need a white thing? Sorry, I don't do a lot of editing in these videos. So this is spicing things up. It's very much a beautiful fall, kind of autumn color story. She's stunning, but very, very warm. So carnelian, citrine, golden rutile, dark green garnets, red garnet. I also have some notes in case I forget, just from looking at it. Rutile, cat's eye, topaz, lots of really rich, beautiful, beautiful colors, and a lot of the gold metallic in there as well. Then this is our Too Hot to Handle, and she is also a very warm palette, but brighter, right? So bright reds. So with red coral, red agate, white coral, carnelian, citrine, more topaz, and then of course lots of beautiful pearls, red agate, red aventurine, lots of pretties in there, lots of pretty bright lovelies in there. So I think these are lovely for fall. This is also just beautiful for like a kind of Indian summertime. Very pretty. Let's see, I'm gonna leave these down for a sec so we can go on to the next ones. Okay. So, and I'm going to just kind of do two at a time. They're similar, and then tell you kind of differences, I guess, between them. So if there's, certain color stories you like oh, I love all the pinks and purples. There's several of them. I'll tell you the differences between them, kind of thing. But I'll tell you, like anyone, when I do their collection, they have a lot of similar things because we like the same, kinds of colors. So our Sunset Seduction and Dancing Till Dawn, they're both warm tone mixes. The Sunset Seduction is just darker, has darker browns and burgundies and really deep, lovely tones. So there's a lot of carnelian and red aventurine and topaz and red agate. Gosh, it's so pretty. You can see all the lovely beads under there. Labradorite and peach moonstone and so many lovely Keshi pearls. Very pretty. Oh, there's morganite in there. Gorgeous. Let's see, we did this one. Dancing Till Dawn is a lighter one. So where this was a little darker, it's a similar color story but brighter. Whoa, Vicki, hold it up here. Brighter and lighter. I'm sorry if I didn't get that in the camera the whole time. The Sunset Seduction is a darker shade of this kind of warm peachy browns, and this one is lighter and brighter. So a lot of peach moonstone and look at these beautiful pearls and white coral. And what else is going on in here? Dancing Till Dawn has labradorite, white coral, peach moonstone, rutilated quartz, pyrite, right? Yeah, lots of beauties. She's really pretty. So that is that one. Then we're doing Sunglow and On Cloud 9. Where's that? Oh, here. Okay. I'm trying to find the ones I'm doing. Okay. So, also warm stories, but different. So this has a lot more of the carnelian in it, a little more copperies, right? Beautiful topaz, carnelian, opal. Look at that big, beautiful golden rutile in there. And that is opal, pink opal, and more citrine and carnelian and red agate, golden rutile. Just yummy, yummy, beautiful. I love Sunglow. That was one of my very, very favorite ones to make. I remember that sample was so lovely. This is On Cloud 9. Warm tones in the coppery, but I brought in lots of purple, lots of plums and pinks. So really warm amethyst and pink opal and pink coral and mother of pearl. Oh, so pretty. And rose quartz, amethyst, pink opal, look at the big pink opal in there. Ametrine, lots of gorgeous colors going on in there. That's our Champagne Kiss and Crush on Blush. I love these two. So those are warm tones. Our Crush on Blush is a little cooler tone. So she's very blushy pink, right? Lots of blushy pink. So rose quartz, pink opal, moonstone. Hey, shh. Moonstone, morganite. What's going on? Pink opal. Oh, look, it's so pretty. I just love them so much. Okay, back to my notes because I'm just staring at it going, what else is in here? My Crush on Blush has moonstone, pink opal, crystal quartz, mother of pearl, rose quartz, topaz, morganite. That's a beautiful, beautiful one. I miss her. Champagne Kiss is also a very cool tone, but neutral, right? But it has a lovely champagne colors, but more with a taupe. That's a very cool tone. So smoky topaz is heavy in here. Smoky topaz with citrines and moonstone and gray moonstone, so pretty. And opal, what's that pink opal? And topaz, white coral, labradorite. So she's lots of beautiful like grays and cool browns. And then with not really any certain, there's some gold, I guess, more bronze, but she could also be like with an antique silver, would be stunning. The sample I have, a picture of her, is with antique brass. It's just one of my very favorites too. Love, love, love. Okay, so now we're going to go into pinks. And I want to make sure I have grabbed the right ones. We're going to do Every Day is a Holiday, which is one of my very first ones. And Hopelessly in Love. So, Every Day is a Holiday is more holiday theme, meaning Christmas holiday. But you couldn't see that really. So it's lots of dark reds, dark greens. So garnet, malachite, but then there's tons of amethyst and pink opal and rose quartz and moonstone. So just lots of those rich jewel tones, right? She's just one of my very favorites. Very colorful and lots of cool, rich jewel tones. So, so pretty. Let me just look at my notes. I'm just going by looking at the jar. Amethyst, garnet, labradorite, green onyx, moonstone, rose quartz, pink opal, moonstone, goes on and on. She's a lovely one. Hopelessly in Love is just brighter pinks and purples, right? Definitely made for Valentine's Day. Gorgeous. Pink opal, rose quartz, morganite, amethyst, sugilite. Oh, look, that's pretty. Moonstone. And look at those big cashew pearls. So, so pretty. So there's your pinky pinks. Then I have Love Potion and Heart's Desire. These were also all Valentine's Day, but all a little different. So this one also has your pinks and purples, but it's also with dark reds. So dark red onyx, garnets, amethyst. Look at the pretty amethyst. Rose quartz, mother of pearl, white coral, morganite. That's moonstone. So many pretty things. I don't know why I bothered making notes, so I'm not going to look at them. And then our Love Potion is also very similar, but her, not an accent color, but her base color is in a cool gray. So there's that dark burgundy and pink, but then a lot of gray moonstone, labradorite, and silver. She's a deep silver tone mixed throughout here. That's so pretty. Oh. And it was started from this Keshi pearl that was kind of a rose color. And I just kind of built from there. Deep amethyst. So different than this. Even though they might sound like they have a lot of same similarities, they're different tones and colors. Very pretty. There's my favorites. Okay, so, and this was another one from the holidays. I do have a couple, or from Valentine's, that were mini palettes. So these are smaller jars. These are 25. I only have 2 of them. And I do have one in the Garden Paradise, which is this mix, because I don't have a larger jar in it. It's old. And this smaller one won't do that as much, but it's exactly half the size. So I do have a smaller version of Garden Paradise. And then I have a smaller one of Princess Charming, which is one of my favorite Valentine's palettes. So while these were a very cool tone, this is a warm tone. And unlike the grays going on in here, this is balanced with a topaz and a champagne color. So pinks and reds and cool browns, then with more taupe and champagne-y, topaz-y colors. It's just so rich and lovely. And I'm sorry it's such a small jar. It's just, mwah, I love it so much. This warm pinks and those dark reds. It's one of my very favorites. I'm gonna stop saying that. I apologize. The more I made them, the more I just fell in love with certain color palettes. Okay, so there's our red ones down. Let's do our blues. We're gonna do Enchanted Twilight, and I think we're gonna do Siren Song with her, I guess. So these are very different blues. Your Enchanted Twilight is deep, dark blues and dark amethyst. So a lot of amethyst, lapis. Now I'm trying to blank. Labradorite. Did I ever say that? Labradorite, amethyst, lapis. I know there's blue agate in there. What else is in our enchanted? Lapis, amethyst, labradorite, gray moonstone, crystal quartz. So lots of pretties in there for just those deep, lovely colors. Siren Song is dark blues, but with aquamarine mix to it, and a lot of silver, like silvery gray pearls. So again, a lot of lapis, blue agate, but then amazonite, azurite, aquamarine. What else is going on here? Some malachite, right? Lots of prettiness. Oh, it's our Siren Song. Look at that big Swarovski. Very, very pretty. And we have Take My Breath Away and Only in My Dreams. So, Only in My Dreams, very vibrant aqua and fuchsia are your strong colors, mixed with and then some pinks in here, and then with a gray base that makes it more neutral. But I put beautiful chalcedony. Look at this gorgeous natural chalcedony that's all through here. Rose quartz, more amazonite, more blue agate. There's some rose quartz. There's always going to be moonstone, crystal quartz, and gray moonstone. Lots of pretties in here. So if you like some vibrant brights, pinks, and blues, there's your baby. Take My Breath Away is the opposite. It's a very subtle neutral blue and gray blues, right? So there is labradorite, aquamarine, but also some amethyst, crystal quartz. Did I say labradorite? This is why I have a list, so that I don't keep repeating myself. Labradorite, moonstone, amethyst, amazonite, spinel, crystal quartz. So, and just again, it's more of a gray and blue kind of color story. Once I did those, now we'll move up to our kind of more colorful ones. The Garden Paradise is this one, and so she's more amethyst, pyrite, topaz. It's a very cool tone. It's a cool mix with fluorite, tons of fluorite, and pyrite, prehnite, that's what I'm trying to say, and just lots of pretties in there. Shh, sorry, Lila wants my attention. Malachite, it's a lovely mix. Let's do these colors. Okay, so Return to Romance is soft greens and peachy pinks and blush tones, and with a silver kind of gray base to it, which makes it more cool tone. And that was all built around this Christophase that's in here. There's lots of Christophase, green aventurine, peach moonstone, labradorite, and topaz. Just, it's a beautiful soft mix that it's just one of my very favorites. She's so, I'll stop saying it. And there's some other pearl in there. So pretty. This is called Happy Hour. She's very colorful. Amethyst, pink opal, citrine, malachite, carnelian. What else is going on in there? Some prehnite. That's golden rutile, amethyst, rose quartz. Did I say that? Just so lots of fun colors. Just it's Happy Hour. It's lots of fun colors, but all with a warm hue. That's what makes it all work. It has a beautiful warm base, like champagne base to it, which just makes it work. So it's a very pretty mix. And then our last two were two of my original palettes that use probably more gemstones than any other of the palettes. And so Island Breeze, which has always been one of my favorites as well, is chock full. Aquamarine, prehnite, citrine, white opal, azurite, amazonite, aquamarine. Did I ever say that? Okay, Vicky, list. I love it so much. I feel like I don't need it. Citrine, aquamarine, amazonite, azurite, moonstone, prehnite, peridot, aventurine, mother of pearl, prehnite. Lots of pretty. Oh, I didn't say that. Just look at that. That's so pretty. It's like a green Amy. I love this mix so much. It's very tropical. Gives me all those vibes. Lots of beautiful gemstones in there. Romance in the Desert is your traditional Southwest color story. Turquoise, red coral, white coral, carnelian, peridot, malachite, red aventurine, green aventurine, citrine. I'm going to keep repeating myself if I look at my list. Romance. Red coral, white coral, turquoise, amazonite, citrine, carnelian, amber, peridot. So many pretties going on in there. It's a great mix. She has a ton of gemstones. I've made beautiful pieces with her. And even though a lot of these will lean cooler or warm tone, a lot of them are more neutral too, and it just depends what you add to them. So like this was the mix, say, that will go with Romance in the Desert, right? With its accent mix, but it can be more cool tone if you want to do silver with it, or more gold tone or warm tone if you want to do gold. So it could, completely depends what metals you put with it, and what particular stones you pull out of there. Exactly. So That's it. A half an hour. So thank you for hanging out with me. I've been talking a long time, and I apologize if I've repeated or whatever, but this is very exciting for me to share, to see and experience, and now share with you. And I'm excited to put them online. And even though I had no idea really how things were going to go with the destashing at this shop, I like that this will be the second week in a row that I've premiered a collection or a category in the store, and then on the Monday following, I put the rest of it, what's remaining, online, available to everyone. And so this has worked really well. I think we only sold maybe like 5 of the jars over the weekend, and many of those, like I said, have dupes. So you're getting just, I think there's 1 or 2 maybe that aren't here. So you're really getting just the prime of this collection. And it's the biggest Pro Palette collection I've seen. I'm bound to get more in the future from other future collections, but I don't know that I'd ever see another one this size. So, and even so, these are they're special ones that I even forgot I had made. So, very exciting. Grab them while you can. This is all there is. There won't be more. And also, I'm offering that little exit pack as a special thank you that I can put with them. You can add it on or not. It's just optional. Okay. Thank you for joining me and listening this whole time. Sparkle brightly like the star that you are. Mwah. Peace.